Why do so many people crave attention before they even have results? Why do we rush to tell the world what we're going to do instead of quietly doing it? Think about it. Every time you share your plans too early, you feel a little spark of pride, but that spark dies quickly. And then the hunger to actually finish the work begins to fade. This is the trap so many fall into. They confuse talking with achieving. They mistake attention for progress. But the truth is simple. Real progress grows in silence. Real victories are built in the shadows. You see, the world we live in constantly pulls us toward noise, social media, conversations, status updates. It all feeds the desire to be seen before we've even earned anything worth showing. And psychologically, that's dangerous. When you talk about your goals too much, your brain releases the same chemicals it does when you actually accomplish something. It tricks you. You feel rewarded without ever putting in the real work. And so your motivation fades. But here's the powerful truth most people never realize. The strongest energy you will ever have comes from silence. Silence keeps you focused. Silence keeps you hungry. Silence forces you to build instead of brag. Let me ask you again, what do you truly want? Do you want the applause that fades in seconds or the results that last for a lifetime? Because the applause of today is nothing compared to the respect of tomorrow. And that respect is only earned through consistent, unseen effort. Here's the deal. If you keep watching this message until the end, I promise you this. You will walk away with a different mindset. A mindset that doesn't crave noise, but craves growth. You will understand why the quiet path, though difficult, is the only path that leads to greatness. And if you take this lesson seriously, your life will never be the same again. That is the reward for your time today. Now imagine two people. The first one never stops talking about their dreams. They tell everyone about their future plans, their goals, their vision. And in the moment, they feel proud, they feel important. But years later, nothing has changed. Their words dissolved into the air and nobody remembers. The second person stays silent. They wake up early, they grind, they sacrifice, they don't waste time announcing every small step. And one day, without warning, the world sees what they have become. The world is shocked. The world cannot deny it. This is the power of working hard in silence. Psychology teaches us something interesting here. Human beings are wired to seek validation. We love approval. We crave recognition. That's why most people talk before they act, because it feels good to be acknowledged. But here's the catch. When you stop giving yourself cheap rewards, when you refuse the instant gratification of attention, you build a fire inside you, a fire that doesn't go out, a fire that fuels you through long nights, early mornings, and every obstacle along the way. This is why silence is so powerful. It keeps the fire alive. It makes you restless. It keeps you moving. It stops you from being satisfied too early. And when you carry this restless energy, you will always outlast those who waste their strength on empty words. Think about the last time you wanted to prove something to someone. You wanted to say it out loud, didn't you? You wanted to show them you were capable, strong, determined. But the truth is, silence is louder than any declaration. When you don't say a word, when you let your actions build day by day, one day your results will scream louder than your voice ever could. So ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped talking and started building? What would happen if you used every ounce of energy not to tell the world who you are going to be, but to actually become that person? I'll tell you what happens. You transform, you rise, and eventually those who doubted you, those who ignored you, those who laughed at you, they will all be silent, because success silences every critic. Success silences every doubt. Success silences every excuse. This is why you must work hard in silence. Not because the world doesn't matter, but because the world will only understand once you've already made it. And that understanding, that recognition is far more powerful when it comes unexpectedly. So here's my challenge to you right now. Resist the urge to speak. Resist the urge to post. Resist the urge to explain yourself. Use that energy to focus, to learn, to grind. Let your results be your announcement. Let your results be your proof. Stay with me until the end of this message, because what comes next will open your eyes to how silence can become your greatest weapon. If you're serious about success, if you're serious about building the life you dream of, then you cannot miss what's ahead. Remember this. Noise is temporary, but results are permanent. Noise fades, but results echo for generations. The choice is yours. Do you want the empty applause of today or the eternal respect of tomorrow? Stay here, stay focused, Because by the end of this journey, you'll understand why the greatest victories are born in silence. The world is loud. Everywhere you turn, there's constant chatter. People announcing their plans, boasting about their moves, celebrating victories they haven't even earned yet. It feels like everyone is in a race to be noticed. But here's the truth most don't see. The louder the noise, the weaker the progress. The people who truly rise are not the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who act the most. Noise is addictive. It feels powerful to be recognized even if it's for nothing. That's why so many get stuck in the cycle of showing instead of growing. They forget that recognition without substance is fragile. It disappears as fast as it appears. And when the noise fades, they are left exposed with nothing real to stand on. The psychology behind this is simple but dangerous. Human beings are designed to crave belonging. We want people to see us, to validate us, to approve of us. That desire for acceptance is ancient, buried deep in our instincts. But in today's world, it has been twisted. Instead of using validation as encouragement after we achieve something, many chase validation before they even start. And when that happens, the drive to work is replaced by the comfort of applause. Think about it. When you tell everyone you're going to start a business, or that you're going to get in shape, or that you're going to achieve something big, people clap for you. They cheer for the idea, not the result. And for a moment, you feel like you've already done it. You feel satisfied. That satisfaction tricks your brain into thinking the work is complete, even though you've only spoken words. This is why so many dreams die in public. They die in the noise. Because people are too busy looking for support instead of building strength. They look for approval instead of discipline. And when the cheers stop, they feel lost. They don't know how to keep going without the noise pushing them forward. But listen carefully. The real world doesn't reward announcements. The real world rewards execution. Nobody pays you for promises. Nobody respects empty declarations. Respect only comes when your actions back up your words. And actions by nature are built in silence. Noise also carries another danger, distraction. The more time you spend talking, the less time you spend doing. The more energy you waste trying to impress, the less energy you have to progress. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. It is subtle, it feels good in the moment, but it steals the future from you. When you drown in noise, you lose clarity. Your focus scatters, your attention splits into 1,000 directions. And without focus, progress is impossible. Progress requires deep concentration, patience, and the ability to endure in silence. You cannot give your best when you are busy entertaining the world. The people who achieve real success understand this. They don't waste their energy trying to prove themselves before it's time. They don't need constant validation. Their power comes from within, not from the outside. They are not addicted to the noise of the crowd. They are addicted to the process, the grind, the slow and steady rise that nobody sees. Psychologists call this intrinsic motivation. It means your fire comes from within. You don't need the world to clap. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You don't need approval. Because your vision is enough, your hunger is enough, your drive is enough. And when you build that kind of motivation, no amount of noise, no lack of applause can stop you. Think about a seed buried deep in the soil. Nobody sees it. Nobody notices it. For weeks, for months, it grows in silence, hidden from the world. It doesn't ask for attention. It doesn't announce its progress. It just grows. And one day, it breaks through the surface, strong, undeniable, unstoppable. That is what your journey should be. Silent growth, invisible progress, until the moment comes when nothing can hide your results. If you let the world's noise control you, you'll never give yourself that chance. You'll spend your life seeking recognition instead of building transformation. You'll burn out before you ever bloom. And that's the tragedy of so many lives. They wasted their strength on being seen instead of being built. But you are not here for that. You are here because you feel the truth inside you. You know the noise cannot carry you where you want to go. You know that if you want to rise above, you must separate yourself from the distractions. You must train your mind to ignore the applause and the criticism. Both are noise. Both are empty. Both will vanish. What matters is the work. What matters is the discipline. What matters is the hunger you carry in silence when nobody is watching. That hunger is your weapon. That silence is your shield. That quiet focus is the very thing that will make your success unshakable. So stop chasing attention. Stop looking for permission. Stop needing to be seen. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone right now. All you need is to prove yourself to yourself. And the way you do that is by working when it's quiet, by building when nobody cares, by grinding when nobody notices. Because one day the noise will come. But when it does, it won't be because you begged for it. It will be because you earned it. And earned recognition lasts forever. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is power. It is the hidden strength that most people never understand because they are too busy chasing noise. But those who embrace silence discover something life-changing, clarity, focus, and unstoppable growth. When you strip away the noise, when you remove the distractions of the outside world, you are left with yourself. And that is where the real work begins. In silence, there are no fake rewards. There are no empty compliments. There is only truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what you want, the truth of how far you are willing to go. Silence gives you space to think deeply. It gives you the chance to hear your own thoughts without interference. And when you can hear yourself clearly, you begin to understand what truly matters. You stop being pulled in 1,000 directions. You stop wasting time trying to live up to other people's opinions. Instead, you gain vision. You gain direction. You gain purpose. The value of silence also lies in its discipline. It takes strength to keep your head down and keep moving forward without the approval of the crowd. It takes courage to remain focused while everyone else is distracted by attention and recognition. Most people cannot do it. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. But the few who resist that temptation, they become unstoppable. There is a psychology behind this. Studies show that when the brain works in silence, concentration increases, creativity grows, problem solving improves, energy is conserved. In noise, the mind scatters. In silence, the mind sharpens. This is why some of the greatest breakthroughs in history happen in solitude. The quiet allowed deep focus, and deep focus created greatness. Think of silence as a training ground. Every day you work quietly, you are strengthening muscles others never build. You are training your mind to endure without applause. You are teaching yourself to stay patient when there is no recognition. That patience is priceless because the world will test you. Success never comes overnight. It requires long seasons of unseen effort, and only those who learn to value silence can survive those seasons without quitting. There is another hidden treasure inside silence: peace. The world is chaotic. Opinions, judgments, criticisms, comparisons, they never stop. And if you let them in, they will tear you apart. But when you choose silence, you shut out the chaos, you create a shield around your focus, you protect your energy, and that protection allows you to grow stronger, faster, and deeper than anyone drowning in the noise. Silence also teaches humility. When you don't constantly announce your goals, you learn to respect the process. You learn that progress is not about impressing others, but about improving yourself. That humility keeps you grounded. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you grateful for every small step instead of prideful for empty promises. Here's the most important truth. Silence makes results undeniable. When you stay quiet and keep building, nobody expects what's coming. The moment your success becomes visible, it cannot be ignored. It carries more weight, more power because it arrived without warning. That shock, that undeniable proof is worth more than years of empty noise. Ask yourself this: what do you gain by telling everyone your plans? Nothing. What do you gain by proving them through action? Everything. Silence allows your work to carry its own voice, a voice far louder, far stronger, far more permanent than words could ever be. But silence is not just about hiding. It is about preparation. The quiet moments are where you sharpen your skills. They are where you discipline your habits. They are where you become the person capable of carrying the success you dream about. If you try to shine too soon, the weight of attention will crush you. But if you build in silence, you will be strong enough to handle anything when the spotlight finally comes. This is why silence is priceless. It builds your foundation. It gives you time to grow without judgment. It allows you to make mistakes privately, to learn without embarrassment, to evolve without interruption. And when you finally step out, you are not half prepared. You are complete. You are solid. You are unshakable. So treasure the quiet. Treasure the nights when nobody is watching. Treasure the mornings when no one claps for you, because those moments are not empty. They are everything. They are where the transformation is happening. They are where your future is being built. Never confuse silence with invisibility. You are not unseen. You are preparing. You are not ignored. You are growing. You are not forgotten. You are becoming. And when the time is right, all that silent work will speak for itself in a voice so loud that the world will have no choice but to listen. That is the value of silence. It is not a cage. It is freedom. It is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is not emptiness. It is the foundation of greatness. Embrace it, live in it, and let it shape you into someone who doesn't need to be heard, because the results will say everything. Words are easy. They cost nothing. Anyone can say they want to change. Anyone can promise a new life. Anyone can talk about dreams. But work is rare. Work requires sacrifice. Work demands consistency. And while words fade into the air, work carves results into reality. This is the great divide. On one side, there are those who talk. On the other, those who act. The talkers fill the world with noise. The workers fill the world with results. And over time, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. The psychology behind this divide explains why so many never cross over. Talking gives an instant reward. It feels good to speak about goals. It feels powerful to declare ambition. But that feeling is shallow. It doesn't last. It doesn't create real change. Action, on the other hand, doesn't always feel good in the beginning. It feels hard. It feels tiring. It feels endless. But action compounds. Each effort builds upon the last. And slowly, step by step, it creates something words never could. Think of the promises people make at the start of every new year. They declare resolutions loudly, with confidence. Yet weeks later, most of them are gone. The gym is empty. The routines are abandoned. Why? Because words require no discipline. Words require no endurance. Only actions demand both. The people who rise above understand this truth. It is better to move in silence than to speak without proof. It is better to let your effort represent you than to let your voice define you. Because a voice can lie, but results cannot. There is a deep psychological trap here. The brain responds to words and actions differently. When you tell someone your goal, your brain feels as if you've already achieved part of it. You receive approval, and that approval satisfies you. But satisfaction without progress is poison. It robs you of the hunger to keep going. Work, however, never tricks you. Work is real. Work humbles you, challenges you, and forces you to earn the pride you feel. That is why silence combined with work is so powerful. When you stop talking and simply act, you never give your mind a chance to feel satisfied too early. You preserve the hunger. You preserve the drive, and that energy takes you further than any declaration ever could. Ask yourself, would you rather be known for what you say or for what you build? Would you rather be remembered for promises or for proof? History doesn't remember speeches alone. History remembers the results behind them. The ones who actually created change, the ones who lived their words through relentless action, are the ones whose names last. Every day you face a choice. You can waste your strength announcing your plans, or you can invest your strength in quiet work. You can chase the temporary pride of words, or you can endure the slow, silent climb of real effort. The first path ends quickly. The second path changes everything. Understand this, nobody is inspired by talk alone. People are inspired by evidence. They are moved when they see transformation. They are motivated when they witness results. Words may spark attention, but only action sustains respect. Work requires patience. It doesn't deliver instant gratification. It demands long hours, discipline, sacrifice, and resilience. And that is why most people choose words instead. They want the easy way. They want the feeling without the cost. But those who embrace the cost, those who commit to the grind, are the ones who achieve what others only talk about. Imagine two lives. One person spends years talking, explaining, declaring. Their words fill conversations, but nothing ever changes. The other spends years working quietly. They don't explain themselves. They don't seek approval. They simply act. At the end of those years, one has empty memories. The other has undeniable results. Which life do you want? The difference is not talent. The difference is not opportunity. The difference is the choice between speaking and working. Every time you open your mouth to explain what you will do, you are taking away from the time you could spend actually doing it. Every word delays action. Every declaration steals energy from execution. So choose work, choose effort, choose a path that doesn't give you instant pride, but lasting respect. Let your silence protect your vision while your work builds your future. Stop feeding your mind with shallow rewards. Start feeding it with real progress, because nothing feels better than results earned through action. Words fade. Work remains. Words are forgotten. Work is remembered. Words can deceive. Work reveals the truth. And when your truth is written in results, you don't need to explain anything to anyone. The world sees it. The world feels it. The world believes it because it cannot be denied. This is the power of choosing action over noise. It is not about speaking less. It is about doing more. It is about shifting your energy from proving to improving. It is about building a foundation so strong that no opinion, no doubt, no criticism can shake it. At the end of the day, you will not be measured by what you said. You will be measured by what you did, so stop wasting time. Stop throwing away energy on words that evaporate. Direct everything you have into work, quiet, steady, relentless work. And let that work become the voice that speaks for you louder than anything you could ever say. Growth is strange. When it happens, most people cannot see it. Even you may not feel it day to day. Progress often hides behind routine. It hides in the small actions that don't seem important in the moment. But over time, those small steps in silence create transformation so powerful that it surprises everyone, including yourself. Quiet growth works differently than the noise of promises. It doesn't give you instant pride. It doesn't flood you with attention. It gives you something far more valuable, long-term strength. It reshapes your mind, your habits, your resilience. And because it is slow and invisible, it builds a foundation that cannot be shaken. Psychology teaches us that the brain adapts to repetition. Every action you repeat rewires your mind. At first, the effort feels heavy. It feels unnatural. But when you continue, when you push through without recognition, the brain accepts it as normal. What once felt impossible becomes automatic. That is the power of consistent, quiet growth. The danger comes when people expect progress to be loud. They expect quick results, instant recognition, and dramatic changes. When they don't see those signs, they quit. They assume nothing is happening. But inside, growth is already taking place. Muscles are strengthening, skills are sharpening, discipline is forming. Just because others cannot see it doesn't mean it isn't real. Think of how water shapes rock. Day after day, drop after drop, the surface is carved. The rock doesn't notice the change at first, but years later, the evidence is undeniable. This is how silent effort works. It feels small today, but in time, it reshapes your entire life. Quiet growth is also powerful because it avoids pressure. When you announce your goals, you put yourself under the eyes of others. Their expectations weigh on you. Their opinions distract you. Their doubts weaken you. But when you grow quietly, you are free. You are not trapped by judgment. You can make mistakes, you can fail privately, and you can learn without shame. That freedom gives you space to truly evolve. Another hidden strength of silent growth is patience. The world is addicted to speed. Everyone wants quick success. Everyone wants shortcuts. But shortcuts collapse. They don't last. The mind that grows slowly, consistently, in silence learns the art of patience. That patience becomes an unshakable weapon because nothing can rush you, nothing can break you, nothing can make you quit before your time. Psychologists call this delayed gratification. It is the ability to resist small rewards now in order to achieve greater rewards later. Those who master this skill succeed in every area of life. They save while others spend. They practice while others party. They endure while others give up. And when the results come, they are massive, undeniable, and permanent. Here's what most people don't realize. Quiet growth not only changes what you achieve, it changes who you are. Each silent day of effort builds character. It builds discipline, humility, and mental toughness. You stop depending on recognition, and you start depending on resilience. You stop chasing validation, and you start chasing mastery. That shift in identity is what separates those who dream from those who succeed. Think about the strongest trees in the forest. Their roots run deep underground, hidden from the eye. Nobody sees those roots, but without them, the tree will fall at the first storm. In the same way, your unseen work, your hidden growth becomes your roots. The world may not notice, but when storms come, you will not bend. You will stand strong because you built in silence. Quiet growth also creates a sense of surprise. While others waste their energy showing off too soon, you are preparing, you are building. And when the moment arrives, your growth is revealed all at once. People who never believed in you are stunned. People who ignored you are forced to respect you. This shock is only possible because you grew in silence away from their eyes. And the best part is this: growth in silence never stops. Once you embrace the process, once you train your mind to find satisfaction in progress instead of recognition, you can carry it through every season of your life. Whether the world notices or not, you keep rising. Whether anyone claps or not, you keep building. That mindset guarantees success no matter how long it takes. So don't fear the quiet. Don't mistake hidden growth for no growth. Every small habit, every consistent effort, every unseen step is a seed. And those seeds, planted in silence, will one day grow into results that cannot be denied. Quiet growth is the secret weapon of the successful. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't need approval. It just happens steadily, quietly, until one day you look back and realize you have become someone you once only dreamed of being. That is the psychology of silent growth. It is invisible in the beginning, unstoppable in the end. And if you trust it, if you embrace it, if you protect it, there is no limit to what you can become. Distraction is the silent thief of dreams. It doesn't shout. It doesn't attack. It slips in quietly, steals your focus, and before you realize it, hours, days, even years are gone. And the painful truth is this: most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they let distractions consume the energy that should have been used to build their future. The trap of distraction is more dangerous than failure. At least with failure, you learn. With distraction, you don't even realize what you're losing. It feels harmless. A quick scroll, a short conversation, another meaningless update. But the mind doesn't measure minutes, it measures momentum. Every time you break focus, you lose momentum. And once momentum is gone, restarting feels like climbing a mountain. Psychology explains why distractions are so powerful. The brain loves novelty. It craves something new, something exciting, something easy. That's why people get addicted to social feeds, constant notifications, endless entertainment. Each distraction releases a quick spark of pleasure. But that spark costs more than it gives. It drains the very fuel you need for long-term achievement. And here lies the danger: the more you feed distractions, the weaker your ability to focus becomes. You train your mind to chase stimulation instead of discipline. You condition yourself to look for the next quick hit instead of embracing the grind. Over time, distraction is no longer an occasional problem. It becomes a habit that destroys progress before it even begins. The trap is even deeper when it comes to talking about goals. Many people confuse sharing with working. They announce every small intention, every tiny plan. And the moment they get attention for it, the drive to act disappears. Their energy was spent on words instead of work. Their hunger was satisfied too soon. This is one of the most destructive distractions because it feels like progress, but it is nothing more than illusion. True growth requires depth. Depth cannot exist in a distracted mind. To build anything great, you need long stretches of focus. You need to go deep into the process without interruptions, without noise. That is where breakthroughs happen. That is where ideas take form. That is where skill turns into mastery. Look at anyone who has achieved something remarkable. Their story is always filled with seasons of isolation, moments when they stepped away from distractions and gave everything to their craft. They understood that distraction is not just wasted time. It is stolen potential. It is the difference between a dream that lives and a dream that dies. The most painful part is this: distraction often disguises itself as harmless. People tell themselves they're only resting, only checking, only pausing for a moment. But minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days. And while they are distracted, someone else is focused. Someone else is moving ahead. Someone else is building in silence. And eventually that gap becomes impossible to close. There is also a deeper psychological cost. Every time you give in to distraction, you weaken trust in yourself. You teach your brain that your word doesn't matter. You said you would focus, but you didn't. You said you would start, but you delayed. That broken trust erodes confidence, and without confidence, you cannot push through the struggles that growth demands. The way out of this trap is simple, but not easy. You must guard your focus as if your life depends on it, because it does. Your future is shaped by what you give your attention to. If you give it to distractions, your future will be scattered, broken, incomplete. If you give it to discipline, your future will be strong, whole, and undeniable. This means cutting out what does not serve you. It means saying no to the endless noise around you. It means resisting the pull of quick pleasures that give you nothing in return. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you train your mind to value progress over comfort. That training builds discipline, and discipline builds greatness. And here's the truth many ignore. Distraction feels good in the moment, but leaves you empty after. Focus feels difficult in the moment, but leaves you fulfilled after. Which one do you want your life to be built on, emptiness or fulfillment? The strongest people are not those who never get distracted. They are the ones who fight, who resist it, who cut it off before it takes control. They understand that every moment of focus is an investment and every moment of distraction is a debt. One makes you wealthy in results. The other makes you bankrupt in progress. So don't fall for the trap. Don't let your time slip away into meaningless noise. Don't waste your energy on things that leave you weaker instead of stronger. Every second of focus builds your future. Every second of distraction steals it. Guard your mind, guard your attention, guard your energy. Because distraction is the enemy and focus is the weapon. Use it wisely and nothing will be able to stop you. Every human being carries energy inside them. That energy is your fuel, your power, your resource for creating the life you want. The question is not whether you have energy. The question is, where are you directing it? Because the way you spend your energy determines the quality of your future. Most people waste their strength proving instead of improving. They spend hours explaining their worth, defending their choices, trying to convince others they are capable. But every ounce of energy used to prove yourself to the world is energy stolen from your growth. It's like pouring water into sand. It disappears and nothing is built. The most successful people understand this principle. Conserve your power for progress, not for approval. Stop scattering your focus on those who don't believe in you. Stop burning your strength on trying to look good instead of becoming good. Redirect all of that energy back into yourself, into your craft, into your discipline. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need your explanation. The world only respects results. Psychology shows us something powerful here. When your mind constantly tries to defend or prove, it enters a state of stress. Stress drains the body, it lowers focus, it weakens performance. But when you shift your attention away from proving and toward improving, the stress fades. The mind becomes calm, steady, and sharp. That calmness gives you more strength than any argument ever could. Think of energy like currency. If you spend it on trying to be seen, you are broke when it comes time to actually build. But if you save it, invest it, and put it into meaningful work, it multiplies. Small deposits of effort, repeated consistently, compound into unstoppable progress. This is how silent workers rise. They don't throw their energy away on the crowd. They invest it in themselves until their success is undeniable. Redirecting energy also means letting go of battles that don't matter. People will criticize you. People will misunderstand you. People will doubt you. If you fight every critic, you will exhaust yourself before you even reach your goal. But if you redirect that fire into your mission, you grow stronger with every step. The best revenge is not a sharp response. The best revenge is undeniable achievement. Energy is limited each day. You only get so much. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent. It is management. Successful people guard their energy like treasure. They don't waste it on gossip, arguments, or appearances. They pour it into progress. And because of that, their work compounds while others are drained. Ask yourself, how much energy have you lost to distractions, doubts, or meaningless battles? How much could you have built if every ounce of that power had been directed toward your vision? Imagine if you stopped scattering and started channeling. Imagine if every thought, every action, every drop of strength was aligned with your purpose. The results would be unstoppable. Redirection is not only about discipline, it's about clarity. When you decide where your energy goes, you define what truly matters, and clarity creates momentum. The clearer your vision, the easier it becomes to say no to the things that waste your power. You stop chasing noise because you know exactly where your focus belongs. There is also freedom in this. When you redirect energy inward, you no longer need outside validation. You don't depend on applause. You don't wait for permission. You create from your own strength. That independence builds confidence. Confidence built on work, not words, can never be taken from you. Think about a river. When its waters are scattered across the land, they form puddles. But when that water is directed into one channel, it becomes powerful enough to carve valleys, to move mountains, to create energy for entire cities. Your mind works the same way. Scattered energy creates nothing. Directed energy creates power. This is why you must protect your focus. Every time you feel the urge to defend yourself, pause. Ask, does this help me grow? Every time you want to explain your dream, ask, would this energy be better spent building it instead? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Silence your mouth, strengthen your work. Silence your defense, sharpen your craft. That is redirection. Psychologists call this mastery of self-regulation. It is the ability to take raw emotion, anger, doubt, pride, and turn it into fuel for discipline. Instead of wasting it outward, you convert it inward. That conversion is what makes ordinary people extraordinary, because everyone feels emotion, but only a few know how to turn it into progress. So protect your energy, redirect it every single day. Refuse to waste it on proving, refuse to waste it on noise, refuse to waste it on anything that does not push you closer to your vision. Your life is built where your energy flows. Aim it wisely. One day, when your results shine so bright that nobody can deny them, you will realize something powerful. You didn't need to prove anything. You only needed to grow. And that growth came from every drop of energy you saved from the world and poured into yourself. There comes a point when words no longer matter. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. You don't need to shout. Because nothing speaks louder than results. Results are the universal language. They silence critics. They quiet doubts. They turn disbelief into respect. Think about it. People can debate opinions, but they cannot deny outcomes. They can dismiss your words, but they cannot ignore your progress. That is why you must focus on building a life that speaks for itself. A life where your achievements become the voice that echoes louder than any promise ever could. Psychology shows us that the human brain trusts what it sees more than what it hears. People believe actions over explanations, evidence over claims. When you let your work show your worth, you bypass doubt entirely. No argument is needed because the proof stands in front of them. That is the true power of silent effort. It builds evidence so strong that words become unnecessary. But here's the secret. Results take time. They are not instant. That's why most people quit before they arrive. They grow impatient. They want recognition now, respect now, proof now. But greatness doesn't grow in days. It grows in seasons. You cannot harvest what you planted yesterday. You must water it, protect it, and trust that the seed will rise when the time is right. This is where silence becomes your ally. Instead of wasting energy begging for recognition, you pour that energy into the process. You keep showing up day after day, even when nobody claps. Because one day the harvest will come, and when it does, the very same people who ignored you will have no choice but to notice. Letting results speak also demands patience with yourself. Growth often happens in silence, invisible at first. You don't see the changes, but they are happening inside. Every disciplined act, every consistent effort, every moment you choose progress over comfort, it all adds up. Then one day, the breakthrough arrives and everyone calls it sudden. But you know it wasn't sudden. It was the product of all those silent days when you trusted the process. There's a deeper truth here. When you focus on results instead of recognition, you gain freedom. You no longer live trapped by opinions. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself. That freedom gives you more strength than approval ever could, because approval fades, but achievement remains. Results also reshape how people treat you. In the beginning, they may doubt you. They may laugh at your efforts, question your choices, dismiss your dreams. But when the evidence appears, the same voices grow silent. Respect comes naturally without you asking. And the best part, you won't even need it anymore because by then you will have built your confidence from within. Think about the most respected figures in history. They were not the ones who talked the most. They were the ones who delivered. Their lives became proof of their dedication. Their results became monuments that outlived their words. You carry that same power within you, the power to let your work do the speaking. The human mind is wired to respond to proof. When you show consistency, when you produce results, people's perception of you changes. Doubters turn into witnesses. Enemies turn into silent observers. And your story becomes undeniable, not because you explained it, but because you built it. But here's the challenge. During the waiting season, silence can feel heavy. It can feel like nobody sees your effort, nobody values your struggle, nobody notices your sacrifice. That is the test. That is where most give up. They crave immediate recognition, and when it doesn't come, they stop. But if you can endure that silence, if you can keep working without applause, then when results arrive, they will be unstoppable. Letting results speak also means focusing on substance over appearance. Many waste their energy making things look good instead of making them strong, but appearance fades, substance lasts. Build strength that cannot be denied, not a facade that crumbles under pressure. When you choose substance, you don't have to demand respect. It comes to you naturally. And never forget, results are not only external, they are internal too. The greatest victory is not proving the world wrong. It is proving yourself right. It is looking in the mirror and knowing that you stayed disciplined, that you honored your word, that you became the person you promised yourself you would be. That quiet confidence is more valuable than any applause you could ever receive. So, let your silence work for you. Let your discipline shape you. Let your results rise until they are so undeniable that they speak louder than any argument. Because when results speak, the world listens, and nothing can silence that voice. Patience is the companion of true greatness. It is the quiet force that separates those who last from those who fade. Without patience, dreams die before they are born. With patience, even the impossible can be achieved. The world teaches you to rush, to want everything now, to believe that speed equals success. But real power does not come from rushing. Real power comes from waiting with discipline, from trusting the timing of your journey. Everything in life has a season. Seeds don't sprout the same day they are planted. Muscles don't grow after one workout. Skills don't sharpen after one practice. Yet people lose hope when results don't show immediately. They forget that time is part of the process. Impatience destroys more dreams than failure ever could, because impatience makes people quit too early, right before the breakthrough arrives. Psychology reveals why patience is so difficult. The brain is wired for instant reward. It craves quick results, quick recognition, quick satisfaction. Waiting feels painful because the mind interprets it as loss. But the truth is the opposite. Waiting with discipline is not losing, it is investing. Every moment of patience is a deposit into your future. The reward comes later, and when it comes, it always outweighs the wait. Think of timing as the invisible hand that shapes success. You may work hard, you may stay consistent, but if you do not respect timing, you will sabotage yourself. Some doors only open after long preparation. Some opportunities only appear when you are truly ready. If you rush, you arrive unprepared. If you quit, you never arrive at all. But if you wait, if you trust the rhythm of time, you meet the right opportunity with the right strength. Patience is not passive. It does not mean sitting still, doing nothing, hoping life will change. Patience means working in silence, showing up daily, building steadily, while trusting that results will come in their own time. It is active waiting, disciplined waiting, committed waiting. It is watering the seed every day, even when the soil looks empty, because you know growth is happening beneath the surface, even if your eyes can't see it yet. The strongest people are not always the fastest. They are the ones who endure the wait without breaking. They understand that delay is not denial. They know that every struggle, every slow step, every quiet season is shaping them, preparing them, building the character required for the success they dream of. What looks like waiting is actually training. Patience also protects you. When you force something too early, you often destroy it. Relationships rushed too soon collapse. Businesses built too quickly without foundation crumble. Goals chased with impatience burn out before they can stabilize. Timing matters because strength is built gradually. If you try to skip the steps, you skip the strength. And without strength, you cannot hold what you work for. Look at nature. A tree does not rush to grow. It spends years rooted in silence, gathering strength underground before it reaches the sky. The higher it rises, the deeper its roots must be. Life works the same way. If you want to reach high, you must be willing to go deep first. That depth requires patience. That depth requires trust in time. Patience is also the cure for comparison. Many give up because they see others rising faster. They measure their timeline against someone else's, forgetting that every path is different. Comparison kills confidence, and impatience kills persistence. But when you respect your own timing, you stop rushing to match others. You understand that your moment will come, and when it does, it will be perfect for you. The mind becomes powerful when it learns to stay calm and delay. Because delay is not a sign of failure. Delay is often a sign of preparation. Life is aligning things you cannot yet see. Life is testing your endurance, your discipline, your hunger. If you can stay patient, you prove you are ready. Impatience proves the opposite. Impatience shows weakness, but patience shows strength, faith, and maturity. There is freedom in patience too. When you trust timing, you no longer panic, you no longer feel desperate, you no longer measure your worth by speed. You learn to breathe, to stay steady, to focus only on what you can control, your effort, your consistency, your attitude. The rest belongs to time. And when the right moment arrives, it always feels worth the wait. The doors open, the recognition comes, the results unfold, and you realize that the struggle was not wasted, the waiting was not empty, it was building you all along. The reward tastes sweeter because you endured. The victory feels stronger because you stayed. So respect patience, respect timing, trust that every second of silence is part of the design. Do not rush, do not quit, do not envy the speed of others. Keep working, keep believing, keep waiting. Because patience is not weakness. Patience is power. And when the right moment comes, your results will rise like a storm, undeniable and unstoppable. There's a kind of victory that needs no celebration, no spotlight, no crowd. It is the victory found in silence. The moment when you realize you have become everything you once dreamed of, not because you shouted, but because you endured. That is the purest form of success, the kind that does not depend on applause, but on the strength you built when nobody was watching. Victory in silence is powerful because it is real. It is not borrowed from approval or borrowed from recognition. It is yours alone, created from your effort, your patience, your sacrifice. When you win in silence, nobody can take it from you. It is carved into your character. It lives in your actions. It is the kind of success that lasts because it was built on discipline, not noise. Think about what silent victory means. It means you overcame the urge to quit when things grew heavy. It means you resisted the temptation to chase quick recognition. It means you endured loneliness, doubt, and fear without surrender. That is a victory far greater than any medal or title, because medals can rust, titles can fade, but the strength you gain in silence stays with you forever. Psychology reveals something important here. Lasting happiness does not come from outside approval. It comes from inner alignment, from living in a way that honors your values and proves to yourself that you are capable. Silent victories give you that alignment. They build self-respect, which is the foundation of confidence. Without self-respect, no amount of applause will ever satisfy you. With self-respect, you don't need applause at all. True victory is often invisible to others. It is the moment you choose discipline over comfort. It is the morning you rise when your body begs to stay down. It is the night you work while the world sleeps. These small choices may not be celebrated, but together, they create unstoppable momentum. Silent victories are the building blocks of every great achievement. And when the day comes that the results shine, you won't even need to announce them. They will announce themselves. People will see the strength in your actions, the evidence in your progress, the transformation in your life. You won't have to explain what you've been doing all this time. The proof will speak for you. That is the beauty of silent victory. It cannot be hidden even if you try. Victory in silence also teaches humility. When you rise without noise, you learn not to measure your worth by how loudly others notice you. You learn that true strength is calm, steady, and grounded. Humility keeps you balanced even as success grows. It protects you from arrogance and keeps you focused on the work instead of the recognition. Because in the end, recognition fades, but the work continues. Another reason silent victory is so powerful is because it surprises the world. People expect noise. They expect constant updates, constant displays of progress. When you stay quiet, they forget about you. They underestimate you. And then one day your success arrives like a storm. Undeniable, unstoppable, impossible to ignore. The silence made your victory louder than any announcement ever could. But the greatest reward is not in shocking others. The greatest reward is in proving yourself right, proving that your vision was real, proving that your effort mattered, proving that you had the strength to stay the course when others would have quit. That inner proof creates peace. A peace that no criticism can touch, no doubt can shake, no failure can erase. Victory in silence also sets an example. It shows others that success does not require constant display. It shows that greatness is built in the dark, in the unseen hours, in the quiet commitment to improvement. Your silent victory becomes a beacon for those who are still struggling in their own silence. Without saying a word, your life tells them it is possible. Remember this, The loudest person in the room is not always the strongest. The strongest is often the one who works in silence, builds in silence, and wins in silence. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is focus. Silence is power. Silence is the place where true transformation happens. So carry this with you. Your victory does not need noise. It does not need approval. It does not need validation. What it needs is your discipline, your patience, your focus, your belief. And if you give it those things, victory will come. And when it does, it will not only change how the world sees you, it will change how you see yourself. Victory in silence is the reward for those who refuse to give up, for those who stay the course, for those who trust the process. It is the ultimate proof that you don't need to be seen every step of the way. You only need to keep moving forward. One day the silence will break and the world will see what you've become. And when that day arrives, you will know that the silence was never empty. It was your greatest ally. It shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for everything you have now. That is the victory worth living for, the victory found in silence.